This is the Aramark Hazard Communication Safety Training. It's a fact, more than 32 million workers work with and are potentially exposed to one or more chemical hazards in more than 3 million workplaces. It is estimated that there are over 650,000 existing chemical products, and new chemicals are being introduced every day, each with its own particular health and physical hazards. Hazard communication, as known as the right to know law, requires employers to evaluate workplace chemicals for potential hazards, then communicate these hazards and appropriate protective measures to associates. There are 3 key parts of hazard communication that you should be aware of. They include the Hazard Communication Program, Chemical Labeling System, and Material Safety Data Sheets, or MSDS. Aramark has a written hazard communication program and is available for you to read. The purpose of this program is to help you understand the hazardous materials you are working with and the precautions necessary for your safety as well as others. The topics addressed in this program include listing of hazardous chemicals that are found in your location, labeling criteria for chemicals and other forms of warnings, how to access material safety data sheets, training requirements that employers must provide to their workers. Chemical labeling system. Labels are the primary way for you to know what chemicals you are using, hazards associated with the chemicals, and other important safety information. Before you use a chemical, read the label and look for the answers to the following questions. Is this the correct chemical that I need for this task? What precautions will I need to know before I use this chemical? What type of PPE will I need? Material safety data sheets. Material safety data sheets are required for all chemicals that are found at your location and should be available for you to read. On those sheets, you will find detailed safety information for each chemical that you're using. If you cannot find an MSDS for a chemical, let your supervisor know. Information that's found on a MSDS includes, but is not limited to, possible health effects of exposure, instructions on what to do if exposure occurs, information on safe handling and storage, lists of personal protective equipment necessary to prevent exposure to the chemical. The basic goal of hazard communication is to be sure that you know all about the hazards when working with chemicals and how to protect yourself. It is important that you complete hazard communication training when you begin your employment, whenever a new chemical is being used in the work area, and every 2 years after your initial training. The more information you have about the chemicals that you use, the better you're able to protect yourself from unsafe chemical exposure. Call to action. Ask your supervisor about Aramark's Hazard Communication Program. Ensure all chemical bottles have labels on them. Complete HazCom training. If you haven't been trained, tell your supervisor. This concludes the Aramark Hazard Communication Safety Training. Thank you.